Let's go back through this again. He said that he disclosed when he introduced a piece of legislation on the floor that would discredit TransCanada, and ultimately, it would help BP, of course. The company bought stock in $170,000 worth of stock. He says that he made that disclosure, but when asked about that on a Bob Mark show, he fumbled around. He says, well, you have to check with the people who recorded it and all.
I did. It's not there.
But in fact, you're right. It's not there. He didn't make that disclosure. Now, and also the point is that the ethics violation is a perception, right? So it's you don't have to actually. He didn't have to actually make money. Andrew Halcro alleges.
He actually did that day. He made money that day when he introduced the legislation.
Right.
The stock in BP went up 68 cents.
But Andrew Halcro says, well, he's not going to make money, but we're not going to have any decision on the pipeline for 5 years, so therefore he's innocent.
Nonsense.
Yeah. All right, I'll tell you what, can you hold over one more segment? We're going to have a quick segment to finish this off with. All right, Rebecca Mansour, conservativeforpalin.com. In the Blue Room, Commissioner Joe Schmidt waiting in the Blue Room. He has his makeup people in there, hairstyling people, trimming his goatee. Commissioner Schmidt grew up with Sarah Palin up in Wasilla, corrections commissioner. Got a great attorney working there in the office, Carmen Gutierrez. She defended me. Carmen Gutierrez is a great attorney. She defended me in my bar altercation with the waitress and all that. That's great stuff. All right, we'll be right back. 3:55 in the afternoon. Commissioner Joe Schmidt, Department of Corrections, is in the studio with me, live and in color. He got his makeup done, his beard trimmed up, his hair done, all for the show. I even got to put him in a tie and suit. Man, looking sharp, Commish.
All right, Eddie, how you doing?
You keeping all the prisoners inbound?
They're inbound.
They're inbound.
We got them all covered.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Every one of them.
That's what we want you to do. We want you to keep them inbound so that they don't get outbound.
And then do something with them when we got their attention.
And then try
there you go.
Recidivism rate, right?
That's right.
There we go. That's what we're going to talk about. All right, we'll be right back here. Rebecca Mansour, welcome to the program. Have you ever met the commissioner?
No, I have not.
All right, there you go. Joe?
Hi, Rebecca.
Meet Rebecca. You guys are old friends now.
Yeah.
There you go. Rebecca, we got a few minutes, just about 4 or 5 minutes left here. We've been talking about Representative Rammers and his stock buying. He bought $170,000 worth of stock. There's been legislation introduced that, at least one opinion, would run down TransCanada or undermine TransCanada and would ultimately help BP. Where does this story go from here, you think?
Well, I don't know. It's in Alaskans' hands. They get to take it and do what they think is best with it.
Right.
Although I do believe that this is a national issue as well, because this is a pipeline is for United States energy independence. So I encourage across the country for people to be involved in this. But my job was just to report it. I'm also it just as an interesting aside that Ramos has had an ethical issue similar to this in the past, where he introduced legislation that would benefit the cruise industry. And it was in the Legislative Ethics Committee said that it was an ethics violation, and he had to remove that bill that he had introduced because it would have benefited his own interest, his own financial interest.
Yeah.
And he also, what's really interesting is after the Rehnquist, issue, there was a move to try to figure out how much stock could you hold. Let's put it in law. Let's actually get a figure out there in law. Hollis French and Les Garrow were trying to push this. And interestingly enough, Ramos was the one that did not want it, that fought against it, because he did not want to have a limit. His limit that he had suggested at first was you could have as much as $50,000 in shares. And interestingly enough, he has basically overgone his own limit that he had suggested, because he has over $170,000.
I don't know if Representative Ramos broke the law or not, or broke the ethics violation. It sure doesn't smell good, and that's the whole thing here. If you look at Governor Palin, if she would have bought $170,000, if her and Todd would have bought $170,000 worth of stock during all this AGEA, TransCanada, Denali, it would have went absolutely Armageddon. I mean, for the governor of the state, it's just, and even if it went if half the pressure was put on Rammer says it would have been Governor Palin, it'd be something to look at, but we'll see what happens, I guess.
And that's all you can do. I just report, you guys decide.
There you go. Fox News, Rebecca Mansour. Well, hey, thank you so much. How's the weather down there in L.A.?
It's good. It's about we have mall weather here. It's the same all year round.
Yeah. Hey, my Lakers won. That was so cool. They won the national championship. I was really impressed. I've been a Laker fan for a long time, and it was good to see the Lakers pull. I haven't had much time to talk about that either. I won a bet.
Yeah.
I won a chocolate shake over the thing, so that was good. All right, Rebecca, we'll keep up the good reporting. I encourage people to visit your website, conservativeforpalin.com. Always well done, and it's a great website. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Eddie. Have a great one.
You bet. Commissioner Joe Schmidt coming up next, folks.